Like if you're like 15, 16, 17 years old, like get like 4 or 5 role models, man. Guys, Coach Miles V coming at you in this video today because I want to talk to you guys about the importance of role models and why you guys should have them. This is something I believe is super, super important, and especially when you're young. Like if you're like 15, 16, 17 years old, like get like 4 or 5 role models, man. Get like 4 or 5 role models, people who just inspire you, people who motivate you, people who are just doing the things that you want to be doing, and people that it's those people that you look up to, who you aspire to be like, right? This is such an important topic to me, because throughout my life, I've had so many role models. Role models in my family, role models, my old football coaches, my old teachers, right? And then I've always had kind of outside role models, people who are doing things like people who aren't in my family, people who I look up to, right? And the reason why I think this is so important is because, and listen very closely, there are traits and characteristics. Okay, let me restart that. Your role models, and you're probably going to be like, what is this dude even talking about? Your role models display traits and characteristics that you already have. Think about that one for a second. That's heavy. That's good. That's good, right? Think about this, right? Let me coach you through this. Who are your role models? List a couple. In fact, list as many as you'd like. Take out a sheet of paper and just write them down. Okay? What traits and characteristics do you admire about these people? Okay? Write a couple. 3 to 5. Write as many as you want. This video is about helping you. Okay? And number 3. Which of those traits and characteristics do you have? That's unbelievably powerful, right? For me. You can call this like a cliche New England thing, but I've always loved, I look up to Tom Brady. He's just a great leader. A fantastic leader. He's a winner too. Dude's a champion, right? So what traits and characteristics do I admire about him, right? His leadership skills, his work ethic, his commitment to excellence, his dedication, right? What else? I'm sure you guys can think of more. Perseverance. That dude is just, he's filled with so much, right? Hey, what traits and characteristics do I admire about him that I have? Okay? So it's like I used to have a landscaping business, right? I feel so lucky to have had the business that I had, because everyone who worked for me always just treated me with so much respect and just so much I don't know, I never had any of those kind of horror stories in landscaping, right? I could have 3 guys on a job site. I'd say, hey, I'm looking to have this done. I want to have this done. I want it to look like this. Let's make that happen, right? And they would just get to work, So it's that leadership, right? I totally have that leadership. I mean, I want you guys to think like this, right? You want to bring this to life for yourself. That work ethic. Man, I can work 7 days a week. Let's go. Let's grind, baby. Okay? And I'm not trying to be arrogant or be kind of full of myself or however you guys want to say it, but like bring it to life, right? If you got that work ethic, man, don't be ashamed. Don't be shy to say that you have that, right? You have that dedication, you know? I totally have that dedication. I'm always focused on staying on course, right? So think about that with your role models, right? Who are your biggest role models? What traits and characteristics do you admire about them? And the third, what traits and characteristics do you admire about them that you have? Like, you got that list here, you got your list here, just add them up. Just add them up. And no is not an answer. None is not an answer. Okay? You know, there's no right or wrong. There's all the time in the world. Sit down if it takes you 20 minutes, right? So guys, I would just, and people who are really, really doing what you want to be doing, right? Or they can just be people that you admire, right? Like I have my immediate role models. Like my mom is my biggest role model. And just because, I mean, she's my mother, right? And so that's kind of like my family role model. And then like outside of my family and outside of, I guess my immediate space is where like I have role models like Chuck Schuldiner from a metal band Death. Like I said, Tom Brady, love Kevin Hart. People like Grant Cardone. When I first started my landscape business, Keith Kalfas was shout out to Keith Kalfas. Keith Kalfas was a huge mentor of mine and still is a huge mentor of mine. Right? So just fill it up, man. Like, cause if you're like me, if you grew up without a father, I totally didn't feel without growing up because I always had these people that I would look to, right? And I would just kind of embody their traits, right? And this is something that you guys can do too, right? Grant Cardone is a huge, huge mentor of mine. I can't even, in the past like 8 to 12 months, how much that dude has just changed my life and the things that he teaches and just who he is just as a businessman in general and just as a husband and as like a leader of his company, right? He has just inspired me so much. And hey, so what traits and characteristics do I have in common with him, right? I mean, it can go on and on. So you guys see what I'm saying, right? Think about your role models. You got your family role models and you got your outside role models. Take these people with you wherever you go, right? You can think about this as much as you want. And what I mean by that is like I listen to audiobooks. I'm always jamming with these audiobooks of these business leaders, right? Or I'm just walking around thinking about my mom. So whatever the case may be, you know, whatever it is for you, that's absolutely perfect. Think about your role models. Take these people with you. Who are your biggest role models? I would recommend having your family role models, people who you are like in your family, or even just your close friend group, right? I've got role models that are outside of my friend group that are just like my parents' dads, my friends' dads. And then I got my outside role models. So get that, okay? Think about these people who inspire you. What traits and characteristics do you admire about them? And what do you have in common with them? Which of those do you have in common? Okay? Short little exercise, really, really powerful, right? Get you amped. Get you just like, yep, I can do this, right? And you're going to do this, whatever you would like to do. So that's the video for today, guys. I'm trying to make these, I guess you could say, a little bit shorter. Sometimes I know I make some real long ones and it might be hard to kind of stick with me, but if you guys gained any value out of this video, please like, please comment. I want to hear who are your role models. Subscribe to the channel. Click the little notification bell. Follow me on Instagram at Coach Miles V. If you want, you can add me on Snapchat at Coach Miles V. And I will talk to you in the next video. Stay great, be great always.